and welcome to MotionRC.com. I'm excited to announce that 3 new helicopters are out as of today, and we are checking out the OH-58C Kiowa from right here at MotionRC. I even like the box for this one. As you can see, you got the MotionRC logo on the bottom right here, and then a full color display, so it actually is a really nice presenting box. And of course, the box works as a great place to keep your helicopter even whenever you're not flying, because it all fits back up in here really easy when you're done. Now, as you get your Kiowa out of the box, you're going to notice it does come fully assembled, and it does come with a full lighting package pre-installed on this helicopter. It also comes with a 2-cell, 350 milliamp LiPo battery that's going to work with this helicopter, and that's going to charge off of a USB Type-C, which is included in the box, but you will need to have a USB connector on your computer or your cell phone to plug this into and charge it up. Whenever you go to charge up your helicopter, it's as simple as plugging that into the wall, then into the battery, and you're going to see a red light indicator come on the battery. When the red light goes out, it means that it's fully charged and it's ready time to go fly it. Now, also included in the box is the transmitter for the little RotorScale Kiowa. And you are going to see the picture is different depending on if you get this or the Huey, so you will be able to tell your transmitters apart from each other. Let's go over some of the buttons on this transmitter now. So right in the middle, you have your on and off switch. Of course, pretty self-explanatory. This is going to turn the transmitter on. Up in the top left-hand corner, you have a dial that's going to go between all the way to the right, in the middle, or all the way to the left. This is going to be your high rates, mid rates, and low rates. In low rates, you really need it to be no wind. I mean none. If you're flying it indoors or evening dusk time hours in low rates, because you're not going to have enough to push through wind in that rate. Now, of course, if you get comfortable with it rather quickly, I pretty much fly this exclusively in the high rates now. It's pretty docile and tame even in the high rate. And you'll need it in that setting to use any of the advanced features, which we'll go over in just a second. Now, down on the helicopter, in the little display plate, you're going to see there are 2 buttons that say takeoff and landing. Pretty self-explanatory, but once the helicopter is powered up and initialized, you can just push that 1-button takeoff button, and it will jump off the ground and fly up to about 5 or 6 foot, and then you can go on to controlling the helicopter. Same thing when you want to go down to land, bring the helicopter down to about 5 foot, put it into a hover, then push that auto landing button, and it's going to ease the helicopter down until it's on the ground, run for a second or 2, and then disable the rotor blade. Now, in the top right-hand corner of the controller, there is a button labeled stop. This is your emergency kill switch. Be advised, if you are above 5 feet and you use this button, you are probably going to damage the landing gear on your helicopter because it's going to fall out of the air wherever you push this at. To initiate this, it's as simple as reaching up and holding that button for 2 to 3 seconds, and you will hear an audible beep and the helicopter will fall out of the air. You don't want to be using this for your landings or anything. This is just an emergency feature. The helicopter's flying away. I don't want it to go any further. I don't want it to get lost or fly into the neighbors. Hold that button, it's going to come down and crash wherever it's at. You'll be able to walk over and pick it up. If it lands in tall grass, you're probably not going to hurt the helicopter either, but that's what that function is for. Now, it is all covered in the manual. If you're curious about switching this from mode 1 to mode 2, or any of those features for our customers that are over in the EU, but that is something you can do. You can change the modes of this transmitter also. And the last thing we need to talk about is the batteries. It does not come with AA batteries, so you're going to need to provide 4 AA's to the back of the transmitter before you go fly. So now that we've gone over some of the features of the transmitter, let's actually go over what it takes to get this bird in the air. We're going to get our battery charged up. Then from the bottom of the helicopter, you're going to see that it only keys in one direction. You're going to slot that in, push it down until it clips. Then you're going to turn the transmitter on, then hold the power button on the bottom of the helicopter. You will see the lights come on and begin to flash. At this point on the transmitter, we're going to move the throttle stick or the collective all the way to the top, then all the way to the bottom, then back to center position. If everything is correct, the helicopter will go to solid lights all the way around, and then you are ready to begin flying. In order to take off, there are two different options. You can either hit the one button takeoff and the helicopter will jump off into a hover, or you can hold both sticks down into the outside, which will commence the main rotor head to come on, and then simply advance the collective to bring the helicopter off the ground. Once you're up and flying, like I said, this is when you're going to play with the rate switch on the transmitter and start getting yourself used to the feeling of the helicopter. Once you kind of got the hang of it, now we can talk about the auto-inverted flight mode of this helicopter. It's kind of a fun little gimmick. I've had a little blast playing with it because I can't fly a 3D helicopter upside down to save my life. But these little guys, I've been having a blast with them, bringing them in and hovering them right in front of me. Because the cool thing is, when it's inverted, the controls also flip to where they stay exactly the same, which sounds weird, but when you do it, you're gonna go, oh, okay, I get it. So it's just like flying it normal, even when it's upside down. So in order to do this, fly the helicopter up to about 20 feet. You need a little bit of room for it to flip over and get itself acclimated to being inverted. After you're up to about 20 feet, you're gonna hold the throttle side trim up. You will hear it beep, and then you will hear it continuously start beeping. At that point, it's as simple as taking your aileron stick and pushing it over to the right or the left, and the helicopter will invert. Once it's upside down, you do not have an optical sensor anymore, so be careful. It's gonna drift a lot more, and it's not gonna hold altitude near as well inverted. That's why you need to be in high rates, and you need to be a little bit proficient flying this helicopter. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before we started this. The helicopter must be in high rates in order for you to put it into this inverted mode. Now, once you're done flying inverted, it's as simple as flying up to about 20 feet again, hold the trim button up again, and push your stick over, the helicopter will come back out of inverted. There really isn't any disadvantage to flying inverted as far as your time goes. This helicopter flies 7 to 10 minutes, depending on how hard you're ripping it around, which is a pretty respectable flight time. Now, we did talk about the flashing lights a minute ago. Let's get a little more detailed look at them now. You have a red and a green nav light on the back of the tail, followed by the searchlight up on the front of the helicopter. And you also have a nav light underneath the tail rotor of this helicopter. So packing a lot of cool features into a really small chopper on this. And I will say, for anybody that's tried any of our other RotorScale 150 smaller size helicopters, these things are actually really good for the price. You get a great paint job, a great finish, full lighting package, and they actually fly pretty darn good. I think a lot of guys are gonna be pleasantly surprised the first time they fly it how easy these actually are. They're not GPS, we have those here, but this is also in a completely different realm as far as pricing than our GPS stuff. So this is a great way to dip your toes into helicopters if you've just been thinking about trying a little scale one out. They're beautiful. I mean, the bodies on these things are gorgeous. You get tons of details. I've actually thought about going in and doing some weathering, using some of my Tamiya panel liner. You know, we carry all the Tamiya brand products here to pimp out your stuff. And I'm telling you what, this guy would love to get a little custom paint on it. So I'm digging it. Now, I also have to tell you what you get in the box. You're gonna get an extra set of rotor blades, an extra tail blade, you get a charger, micro USB, and then of course the helicopter and the transmitter. Well, pilots, we've been showing you all around the Kiowa today. Now let's take it up for a flight. I've got the helicopter turned on. I'm gonna hit the one button takeoff, and we'll see it jump off the ground. Now, of course, I can fly it over here to me. It's a very stable little helicopter, guys. I mean, I'm hardly even having to try. Now, if we want to flip it over, there is no altitude limit. Let's put it right there and invert it real quick. And show you that. And I mean, it's this easy, inverted. Pretty awesome. Bring her down. Take her for a little rip in the yard here. I mean, for the price, guys, you can't beat these little dudes. Let's show you the landing now. Right here in front of us. Get it where we want to land. And we're going to reach down and hit the one button landing. That's as easy as it is. These things are awesome, dude. For the price, you got to get one. Guys, I'm really excited about this new line of helicopters. If you haven't checked it out already, there are 2 more available right now, like I said, that came out at the exact same time. These things are pretty sweet. They are in stock, ready to rip, just in time for Christmas. And until next time, I'm Wes from right here at motionrc.com. And whether it's air, land, or sea, you can get it right here at motionrc.com. It's been my pleasure to show you this product today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.